Welcome to another FD10, where we are looking at the 10 biggest revelations in the Premier League this season. These are teams, coaches and players who have taken us by surprise with their quality. 10. Steve Bruce. We kick off with a nice controversial choice in Steve Bruce, but hear us out. When Newcastle United made the bizarre decision to replace a fed-up Rafa Benitez with journeyman Steve Bruce last summer, we were one of the first to tip the Magpies for relegation. Bruce may have managed in the Premier League for many years, but since failing to lead Aston Villa out of the Championship in 2018, his only work of note had been an indifferent spell at Sheffield Wednesday. And when just 2 wins in the opening 10 games left Newcastle staring at a relegation scrap, it seemed the writing was on the wall for the 59-year-old veteran. However, credit where credits are due, as since then Bruce has guided his boyhood side to a comfortable mid-table finish, falling 1 point short of Benitez's total the season before. Table position aside, Newcastle's stats make for pretty average reading. They score 1.03 goals per game, concede 1.5 and win an average of 1.19 points per game too. But when you consider just how mediocre his team is and the lack of a goal-scoring forward, Bruce has in fact done a remarkable job. Like it or not, Bruce makes our 10. 9. Mason Mount. The new Chelsea era under Frank Lampard is best represented in the rise of academy products making it into the first team. A side who once almost categorically refused to play youngsters is now littered with juvenile stars like Tammy Abraham, Reece James and Hudson-Odoi. And while Abraham has been brilliant, silencing his doubters with 15 Premier League goals this season, our nod goes to his English compatriot, Mason Mount. Trusted completely by Lampard thanks to a year at Derby County together, within their squad only goalkeeper Kepa and club captain Azpilicueta have played more minutes in the league than Mount, and he hasn't let his manager down. Offensively, the 21-year-old takes over 4 shots and key passes per game, and has 12 goal contributions in the league. But with so much attacking talent in the side, he is often required to play deeper, where he has slowly improved. The growth in his all-round gameplay was perfectly demonstrated in their stunning 3-1 win in the FA Cup semi-final over Manchester United. Not only did he score, Mount was successful with 24 of his 26 passes, completed all his 3 dribbles, recovered the ball 6 times and won 5 out of 8 of his ground duels. Mount is now an established England international with even a goal to his name. Should he continue to put in performances like he did against United, 2021 will only see his stock rise further. Just before we move on to our next one, if you're not already subscribed to the Football Daily YouTube channel, then please take a minute, scroll down, smash that button and the notification bell so you never miss a single video. 8. Vincente Guaita. When Crystal Palace finally ran out of patience with Wayne Hennessy's indifferent displays at the end of the 17-18 season, little attention was given to his replacement, Vincente Guaita, who arrived on a free transfer that summer. Then aged 32, Guaita's career was defined by a bit-part role at Valencia and a reasonable 3 seasons at Getafe. But there was nothing to suggest he was a major improvement on their Welsh number 1. Hennessy continued to start until December, when Guaita got his chance, and the Spaniard hasn't looked back since. By the end of the 18-19 season, only 4 keepers betted his 73.3% save percentage in the Premier League, and it's been much the same this campaign. The 7th busiest keeper in the division, Guaita has kept 10 clean sheets and maintained a strong save percentage of 72%, as Palace coasted to a mid-table finish. For context, this is better than Burnley's Nick Pope, who came second to Ederson for the most clean sheets in the league. Considering he cost nothing, Guaita was quite the find for the Eagles. 7. Danny Ings. Danny Ings can be considered a revelation purely because of the injury woes the Southampton forward has endured over the last few years. Prior to 18-19, the former Liverpool forward has essentially missed 3 years of action through injury, and even last season he could only manage 1,668 minutes in the league, scoring 7 times whilst on loan at the Saints. Despite the risks, Southampton agreed to pay Liverpool £20 million to make the move permanent, and what a decision that has proven to be. The 27-year-old has arguably been the standout striker in the division, netting 22 times in 32 starts. And though Jamie Vardy may have claimed the Golden Boot, removed penalties, and no one has a better goals per 90 rate than Ings, who has been a consistent performer throughout the season. The only shame for Ings is that the Euros has been delayed by a season, denying him the opportunity to represent his country at the peak of his powers. After all the hardship he's been through, it's amazing to see Ings back on top again. 6. Phil Bardsley. Phil Bardsley may not be the most exciting name on this list, but it's brilliant to see this veteran of the Premier League put in one of the best seasons of his career at the ripe old age of 35. The Manchester United Academy product has been on the books at Burnley for the last 3 years, where he has largely been a squad player providing experience from the bench. But the longer 2019-20 went, the more Bardsley appeared in the starting XI. And for good reason. The former Stoke City and Sunderland fullback makes the joint most tackles and interceptions of anyone in his squad, and even manages 3.3 clearances per game too. He may not contribute much offensively, managing just a single assist, but his defensive attributes make him a perfect addition to Sean Dyche's rigid and organised back line. His fine form has helped Burnley once again punch above their weight, with a Europa League position not far from their reach. Not many give credit to the fact Bardsley maintains a career tackle success rate of 78% from 300 Premier League games, which is immense. For context, Aaron Wan-Bissaka is currently on 66%. It just goes to show age and experience can be a vital asset in the Premier League, and Phil Bardsley certainly isn't finished yet. 5. Riyad Mahrez. In any ordinary circumstance, a £60 million player performing well should not be considered a revelation, but Riyad Mahrez plays in an extraordinary Manchester City team, and what is remarkable is how in 1920 he has been almost undroppable from the starting 11. It's fair to say his first season as a Sky Blue wasn't spectacular. Having joined from Leicester City in the summer of 2018, Mahrez often ended up rotated in the league, making almost as many appearances as a sub than as a starter, and only ended up with 11 goal involvements. However, a long-term injury to his rival Leroy Sané has given him a free hit at a starting spot, and the winger has grabbed his opportunity with open arms. With 11 goals and 9 assists from 21 starts, Mahrez consistently ranks as one of the best creators in the league. He charts second for non-penalty goals and assists per 90, second for through balls, and second for goal-creating actions. The only player ahead of him, Kevin De Bruyne. At 29 years old, Mahrez is in the prime of his career, with David Silva set to depart and Raheem Sterling managing just 1 assist all season. It couldn't have come at a better time for Manchester City. 4. Nigel Pearson. Nigel Pearson may not have finished the season as a Premier League manager, but he left the division with a reputation vastly improved on the one that arrived back in December 2019. The man credited with laying the foundations for Leicester City's monumental title success has had little to cheer about in recent years, thanks to a dire spell at Derby County and a forgettable 2-year stint in the Belgian second division. So when Watford turned to the 56-year-old to get them out of trouble, it would be fair to say no one gave the Hornets much hope. However, Pearson's fiery personality and no-nonsense attitude proved the perfect antidote to Watford's struggles. He took on a team 7 points adrift at the bottom of the table and guided them out of the relegation zone with 7 wins and 4 draws in their next 20 matches. His win percentage was better than any of the Hornets' previous 5 managers. However, in one of the most shocking incidents of the season, Pearson was sacked from the Watford job with just 2 games to go. This ultimately saw Watford relegated from the Premier League. But when owners now begin to panic in the 2021 season, Pearson may well be the man they turn to again. 3. Adama Traore. For the second season running, Wolverhampton Wanderers have been excellent in the Premier League, but while in 18-19 the team were a revelation as a whole, this year will be remembered as the year Adama Traore finally showed everyone just how good he is. The Barcelona Academy graduate has always been filled with promise, though flashy moments at Middlesbrough and Aston Villa weren't enough to convince anyone of his Premier League pedigree. However, in 1920, he has looked unplayable at times. On average, Traore completes a league-best 5.1 dribbles per game, with his pace and power making him capable of dismantling any opposition defence. His 4 goals and 9 assists may not be prolific, but the fact no player has crossed the ball into the box as many times as the Spaniard shows how effective he has been down the byline. Only Jack Grealish and Wilfried Zaha can claim to have progressively carried the ball further than Traore, while 18 of his dribbles has resulted in a shot, the second best return in the division. It may have taken longer than expected, but Adama Traore is a force to be reckoned with. 2. Sheffield United. When Sheffield United sealed promotion from the Championship last summer, they were immediately made odds-on favourite to head straight back down this season. But rather than just survive in the Premier League, the Blades have flourished, even threatening to finish in the top 4 prior to the lockdown. Chris Wilder's unique brand of football has won fans from across the sporting community, while Sheffield United's unbreakable team spirit and work ethic has made them a challenging fixture for any team. The Blades flood forward with overlapping centre halves and keep their opponents penned in. Quite remarkably, only City and Liverpool have kept the ball in the opposition third more than Sheffield United, who use long balls and dominate the air to assert control. They may be the lowest scoring team in the top 12, but they are clinical with their limited opportunities. And the fact they have only scored 6 times from set pieces is testament to the fact that under Wilder, they play an open style of football. Individuals like Dean Henderson and Chris Basham deserve plenty of credit, but as a whole, Sheffield United have demonstrated how playing for each other can be the key to coping in the toughest league of all. 1. Mason Greenwood. Manchester United love an academy graduate. Marcus Rashford is quickly becoming the face of the club, Brandon Williams has emerged as a regular at left back, and Scott McTominay is learning fast in midfield. But the biggest surprise to rise out of Carrington this season is without doubt Mason Greenwood. The 18-year-old has forced his way into the first team squad after an excellent debut campaign that has delivered 16 goals in all competitions. That includes 9 goals in the Premier League, where he's already played well over 1,000 minutes and made 32 appearances. But it is the nature of his strikes that makes Greenwood truly exciting. 2 of his goals have come from his weaker right foot, but interestingly, this is the foot he plays 66% of his key passes with. Not only that, 4 of his goals have been from range, with some absolute stunners so far. Blessed with 2-footed ability, capable of scoring from anywhere, and with speed and skill to match, Greenwood genuinely looks like he will be the real deal. It's never good to hype up a player too early, but in Greenwood's case, we hope it's justified. So those were our 10 biggest revelations in the Premier League season just gone. But have we missed anyone out? Please let me know in the comments below if so, and we'll try to reply to them. If you've enjoyed this video and want to see more Football Daily content, then please click on screen right now. And as always guys, don't forget to like and subscribe.